we are
So,
on air.
welcome back, everyone, on to Mind the Talk podcast. Here we're doing the weekly review where we're going to talk about the week that we had. Who should I start with? Karina, what did you have in the week?
Yeah, it was a full week of work at different institutions and a lot of private stuff I had to do. And Enrico, how was your week?
My week was stressful again because I had so many things to do. Especially my Wednesday is my preparation day, and I had to repeat some classes because I had to cancel some due to a very important thing, and another one was because of the one university. They changed the weekday of the week. Um, for example, it wasn't Friday last Friday. Yeah, last no, no, the Friday 8th, right? It's actually a Friday, but this university changed it to a Tuesday. So it means on this Friday, the Tuesday classes are held. And this causes many problems because the part-time lecturers, they teach at other places like me. I'm on at a different university on that day, so I couldn't teach at this university. So that's why I decided to repeat this class. And yeah, I asked my students when it would be most convenient for them, and they decided for the Wednesday. And Wednesday is my preparation class, and I had to repeat two classes on this day. Means this was time actually for preparation I couldn't use, so I struggled a little bit. Yeah, but in the end it worked well. But yeah, I would like to avoid these kind of days. And this week I'm gonna have another class like this. So yeah, yeah. I don't want to complain. It is as it is. But yeah, this made my class my week a little bit stressful.
But does it happen often that you have to reschedule your class?
No, no, actually not. Normally, I don't restrict schedule any class because I
Yeah.
try to do the class as planned. But sometimes, very rarely, I have a very important appointment. For example, last semester I had it several times because I had to go to the doctor, to see the doctor at the hospital. It's a very serious thing I had, and I couldn't change it to another weekday, so I had to do it. But normally not, no, no. And at
Yeah.
this university where they change the weekdays, it's maybe once a year or sometimes twice a year. But it's not every year because it depends how the dates, I mean, how they scheduled or when they start the semester. I think they could even avoid this problem if they had started 2 days earlier. We didn't have this problem actually. I don't know why they
Yeah.
started. I think they started on the Thursday, and that's why the Tuesday and Wednesday classes. We teach 14 weeks on this university, and since they started on Thursday, we had a lack of one class for Tuesday and one class for Wednesday. So for this, because we had more Fridays, we have 15 Fridays in this semester. So they used the Friday for the Tuesday. So, but if they
I
had
think,
started a little bit earlier, like 2 days earlier, they didn't have this problem. And people could, the 8th of May, it's in the middle, or not in the middle, during the Golden Week, could be off, and everybody would be happy. So instead of this, we had to teach also the students. They struggle because some of them they have, for example, like the Arbeiter, their part-time jobs on this day because they don't have classes on during this period, and now they had to reschedule again as well. Yeah, it's a big mess every year like this, but not every year for me. Last year was like this, and this year, and maybe next year it will be a problem for other teachers, for maybe for the Thursday teachers or for the Monday teachers.
Is there any day of the week that you always start the semester? Because in Germany, it's sometimes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the first day in the semester, and then the last day as well. It's not really concise. But here in Ireland, I was pretty surprised that it always starts at Monday, at least in my experience, and ends on Friday, which was really nice because you
Mm.
don't get confused at all. That doesn't happen in Japan, does it?
No, and all the universities start on different day, right? Kariya, how is it your university?
Yes, every university is different. And
Yeah.
also, I think the university, Enrico and I are at the same university. And this university has a weird schedule because the Friday classes end two
Yeah.
weeks earlier than the other classes. So the students have 2 weeks at the end of the semester off on Friday, but all the other classes from Monday to Thursday are still in that period and still are being held, plus all the exams. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And especially this, they could have started a little later, this university, right? Because we
Yes.
started on a Friday. That's why we have too many Fridays. And additionally, we had a class on May 8th in the Golden Week. They could have skipped this class. Just one in the Golden Week. We had just one day of classes, Friday. And that's why we
Yeah.
have 2 Fridays more than the other weekdays. Means the semester finishes already 2 weeks before the other weekdays.
Hmm.
Which would be fine, but the students have to come to the other days regardless. So
Mm.
I don't understand what they thought when they made the schedule, because I do believe maybe they want to give them one additional day to cram for the exams. So they don't have just Saturday and Sunday, but also Friday twice. So maybe they can learn a little bit more. I don't know.
Do you have an exam preparation week before the exam where you don't have any classes just so you can, so the students can learn, study, but there's no classes?
This is a good question, and actually, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so,
Because the
because
teacher.
our oral classes and our oral exams that we have are usually 1 week later or 2 weeks later after the classes officially stopped. So I do
Mhm.
believe they have some preparation time, but it's not just our classes, it's all the classes.
I
It's
think they have,
exam week.
yeah, they have examen weeks, I think. But it's actually a bit embarrassing that that I can't reply to this question because the reason for this is I'm a part-time lecturer and it doesn't affect my class because I do my tests during the classes and I do like the Kimatsu Shiken, they call it in Japanese. It's a kind of the final exam, and I never do these final exams. And that's why I don't know. I just know my schedule when I have to teach, when I have to come to the university, and I only get paid for that. And this is something that's in my interest, and that's why I'm actually
I don't
not
know about the
sure.
Japanese university system, but in Germany, I mean, it might depend on the lecturer and also the class they have. But in my case, I never really had a week of rest before the exam. So the semester ends, and then the following week would generally be the exam week. So you have like a bunch of things to do all at the same time. And sometimes for some of the lecturers, they do everything in the final class. So in between two classes, you have an exam and then you need to go to the next class. And some of the students just get exhausted and just ignore the rest of the classes that they don't really
Hmm.
have to go to because they have like another exam. And then that's all they have the energy for on the day. I feel like in Ireland so far in my experience, it's just at least in my uni, they have completely different system. So you need to finish the semester and then the exam period starts. But usually Like for the classes that I've had, I had at least 2 to 3 weeks of nothing. So no class, nothing,
Mm,
and it not a single thing going on. And then I have a bunch of exams, like for the extension of a month also.
Mm.
And in this semester, I had just 2 exams, but like far away from each other,
mm. But we
date-wise.
have, I think we have an examen week, right? 1 week, I think.
I think so, because we
Yeah, I think we have
always
1 week.
get a paper so we can know where to register for a classroom in that week.
Mm.
But since our system is completely different, because we have different tests during the semester and one test after the semester ended, it's completely different from us. But I think our English colleagues do have, after the classes officially ended, 1 week after that, they have classes and they have to get a big room or so because it's pretty crowded, I think. All the seminars and the Japanese colleagues have their tests and exams.
Yeah, and actually,
Yeah.
also some of our colleagues, also part-time lecturers, they do a test in the last class or something like this. I try to avoid this. I hardly ever do this kind of because I don't want the students have so much stress in the last weeks, right, before the semester ends. They have their exams, I know, the Kimatsushiken, and all the teachers, I don't know why, tend to do their tests and examens in the last week. So they are very stressed, and it's in German we have a word for this, like bulimie learning. It's bulimie is a disease for how can you explain, Karina? Like
Uh,
for
it's the same in English. It's when you overeat, like for 30 minutes, you eat like 3,000 calories, and then you go to the bathroom to get it out again.
put your finger in the throat and get it out.
Yes.
So and we call it bulimie learning because they learn for the test for tomorrow. They learn, and memorize everything, and then in the test and the exam they throw up everything, and it's gone. And then they empty their brain for the next test, and they memorize again, and the next day they throw it up again. So and I I really doubt this if it makes sense, this kind of learning. I mean,
Hmm.
and especially for language classes, I think it's not doesn't make really sense to the test in the end of the semester because
How
it's
is
a
it in
Yeah, that's a
continuous
good
Ireland?
process.
point.
Yeah.
That's a good point because I feel like while I'm teaching, I don't really do exams ever because it's just a language school thing. And if you don't have to do it, why would you put yourself in the position? But yeah, I don't know. I never do that. The only problem that I get at the end of the terms when I teach is the bureaucratic things. This week I had another one. You just need to sign the paper that I attended the class and I as a teacher has seen the class. I taught like usually 12 or 8 classes and then that was the course. And I need to get it back to the institution where I teach. And I did it everything perfectly the same way that I always do. And then I got an email back that the format is different now. It's
Mm, mm,
exactly
mm.
the same thing that you need to do, signing the paper, writing the date, and giving the name of the students and the teacher. It's exactly the same, just the format is different. You get the new document, and then yeah, she said,
This
sorry, we
re
have a new document, so this is not legitimate anymore. So you have to do the same thing over and again.
so it
Yeah,
reminds me to Japan. It's also the same in Japan. Right?
yeah.
I've
I mean,
experienced many times that I filled the form and then I got a reply, oh no, this is you have to do it again because it's the old form. Even though exactly the same,
yeah,
it's just a different format. And I had to do it
yeah.
again.
Pretty stupid. And I really love my colleague. She's always nice. She's always helpful when I need her help. But yeah, this is pretty crazy as a system.
It is.
Yeah. So, Aki, how was your week? We didn't actually ask you.
My
What did you
week, so this was part of my week, designing document and stuff. I
do?
didn't teach as much as I do, not because of the bureaucratic issue has gotten me and I was too stressed, but this is actually my final week, or this week and the next week are the final weeks where because I'm leaving Ireland soon enough. So I was spending a lot of time traveling as much as I could. On one day, I went to Cliffs of Moher, which is in, well, close to this area. And it's such a beautiful place, but I've been there twice with my family once, and also with one of my friends at that time. And I went there the third time with another friend because she was like, "Okay, I'm actually leaving in the following days. Can we meet? Can we meet somewhere?" And I was like, "Yes, good.
At the
Where
cliff.
do you want to go?"
So
Yeah, and then she
it's a
said the
little bit
Cliffs of
kawaii, isn't
Moher,
it?
and she was like, "No, no, it is really beautiful, but just I've been there twice," and she somehow misunderstood it, and I was like, I've been there many times. Are you sure you want to go there?" But she was just like, so sorry, I just haven't been there, and I don't have that many days left. So if you would, then I would go." But I was like, "No worries, we will go there as long as we can. I can have your company. That's the like she's a really sweet friend. So I was like, okay, let's just go. And then I went there this third time. It was real nice. And then after that, it was actually 2 days ago, I went to Aran Islands, which is quite close from here, from Galway. There, around the season when it gets warmer, they have this ferry that goes from Galway to Aran Islands. It takes about 2 hours and 30 minutes. And you get like 2, 3 hours or even longer. We arrived at 11 and then we had to leave at 3:30, so like 4 hours and a bit longer on the Isle. And you can do anything you want. There are not that many shops, there are not that many people on the island,
What is
but
on the
it's pretty
island? What can you
famous
find
for
there?
the sweater and wool stuff, as you can imagine. But it's such a lovely place actually. Like you get to actually what I loved is the for the first time I visited a place and I actually heard Irish language being used
Oh,
on a daily basis. People were talking to each other in Irish, and also the people working on the ship were giving directions to each other in Irish. Of course, the stupid tourists who don't speak Irish would get any instructions or support in English, but otherwise they were talking to each other in Irish, and I was like, yes, that's what I've been looking for. So it was pretty nice.
wow.
And also
Wow.
you can rent a bicycle for 20 euros per day to go around the island, which I did. And yeah, it was quite an experience.
How big or small is the island?
So they have three islands in Ishmore and then all the rest of two, but I was just on the Inismore, which means the big island in Irish. And I'm not too sure about how big exactly. It's quite big.
But going around by bicycle, how long does it take?
It took me probably back and forth, like to the other side of the island, maybe I managed it in an hour, 1 hour and 45 minutes or something. And
Oh,
then
okay.
on the way back, slightly less because I just had slope downwards.
Hmm.
So I didn't have to do too much and it was really nice. I really love going down the hill without any brakes on without stopping or going slow. I really love going super fast when there's nobody, which is scary for my mom to think about, but I really
But
love
she's,
that kind of
don't worry,
feeling.
she's not watching, so it's fine. You can
Or maybe
you can
she's
tell all
gonna
the
write it in the
secrets.
comments.
Don't do it again.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, I've been planning the for the final few days, and I'm probably going to visit a really an old woman in around Dublin area on the final day. But I'm trying to organize everything last minute because I've been busy the whole time and now I have the last few days and then I try to go everywhere and then I realize that, Oh my gosh, there's so many places that I want to go. And I'm probably not going to manage everything, but I'm trying to use the best of my time.
So I have to stay a little longer.
Exactly, yeah. And come
Or
back.
yeah, a reason to come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And were there many stu sheeps on the island? Because you said
Funny
it's
enough, I didn't
famous for
see
wool
that
stuff.
many. I didn't
Maybe
see
the
that many sheep, but maybe
may-
I was on the wrong side.
maybe the
I'm
wool
not
is
sure.
imported from somewhere.
Who knows?
From
I mean,
Scotland.
generally, when you're
Yeah.
traveling by train or by bus through Ireland, you see a lot of sheeps all around the areas, and also cows, cattles.
Hmm.
I saw quite a few cattles on the island, so that was it.
Do you know what? I went to Hokkaido already. I've been there for three times already, I think, 3 times. And everybody told me, yeah, Hokkaido is the island or where you can where all the milk comes from, where are the cows. I didn't see any cow in Hokkaido.
Really?
So yeah,
That's
maybe it's a
crazy.
myth. Maybe it's a mythos. Maybe there are no cows in Hokkaido.
You mean they're
Have you been
all
to Hokkaido?
imported from another country?
Maybe. Have you been
All
to
the milk.
Hokkaido?
I haven't, and it's such a shame for me.
Karina,
I
have you been
really
to
would love to go there.
Yes,
Yes. Did you see cows?
yes, I did
Oh, you
see
did.
cows. Yes.
Where? Where?
Um,
In the zoo.
Usually no, in a paddock.
Asahikawa.
No, they were in a paddock, and some other cows were in some kind of stable or shelter. So I assume this was for meat production. I'm not sure because I think they were giving them more to eat than they could possibly handle. So maybe I wouldn't say Kobe sheep or Wagyu. The But I saw a few, yes.
Oh, you did.
But it
Okay,
wasn't
maybe.
like the Alps that you have this on the milk carton where it's like one or two cows that are just happily living their lives. It was pretty much a lot of cows in that stable and a few cows outside, and it wasn't very lovely. It was quite rainy that day, and everything was dirty, and they didn't look that happy. So I'm not 100% sure that this was
But
idyllic.
yeah. But if you go to Switzerland, for example, in Switzerland you can really see the cows everywhere
Yes,
in
you
the
can.
mountains. Even on 2,500 meters height, you see people living there and cows and sheeps. Yeah. But in Hokkaido, I
Oh,
was wondering, no cows. I didn't see any cows. Hmm.
actually, one of my friends told me that there are more cows than people on Ireland, supposedly.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's
Because
just
there are
like
so
New Zealand, yeah,
because there are
with
so many
sheep.
cows, or so less people, so few people.
Both of them, I think.
Maybe
Both,
both. Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. The
Interesting.
burgers must be
yeah,
great.
Hmm.
probably.
Yeah.
And somebody told me that it's pretty cheap for like the beefs are cheaper here. One
Okay.
person that I knew from Hungary, he told me that it's surprisingly cheaper than in Hungary, which is, I don't know, interesting.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
maybe.
So it means this was your highlight of last week, right? Or
Yeah, yeah, traveling
yeah,
around. I
traveling
really love
around,
the
going
fact
to.
that I'm back in the track of traveling all the way through, like as much as I can and
Hmm.
as much as I can afford as well. But yeah, I think I had really sore legs, so I had to rest a little bit, but it was quite pretty
Yeah, you're
nice.
getting older.
Not
You're
really
getting
sitting
older.
down the whole day, but yeah, at the
Yeah.
age of
Just
24
just
for
just
sure.
wait until you're in my age.
Yeah, just
Oh,
looking to watch it.
oh. Yeah.
And
Cool.
yeah, and actually I have a actually last week I forgot to tell you a highlight I experienced. Last week we had this weekly review, right? And we were sitting here and were like discussing about the length of a class, no? If it's better to have 45 minutes or 50 or 90 or 100 minutes, right? Because we didn't have anything to report about the week because it was Golden Week. But I have a highlight from last week. I forgot to tell you. And I have at one university, it's the only university I had on this Friday the 8th. and I had a listening class, and I did the topic was about our Latin letters. Why do we use Latin? Well, we use Latin letters in German, and where does it come from? And yeah, and we dealt with this, and the homework for them was to research how it is in Japanese. In Japanese, we have we have actually four types of how to say writings, right? We have
Yeah.
kanji, katakana, hiragana, and romaji. No? And in Germany, there was a kind of discussion in the past. What shall they use? Shall they use the Latin letters or better the old German letters? And they finally decided to use Latin letters because it's more international and it's already everybody knew and so on. And yeah, I asked them to research and to report how it is in Japan. Why do we have so many letters, and why don't we just use one? No? For example, we don't need katakana and hiragana at the same time, right? You can write everything with hiragana or with katakana. Why do we have both? The reason why we have is they say, yeah, because for foreign words we use katakana, and for in Japanese word we use hiragana. But why? You can also write foreign words with hiragana, and even Japanese words you sometimes write in katakana, right? Like ramen or something like this. Yeah, and then I asked where does it come from, and then I learned something new, and they said katakana was actually used in the past by men, by like I don't know how long time ago, like what was the ninth century or something like this, I forgot. The katakana was used by men, and hiragana was the language, the writing for women for writing poems. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah, I had
Oh,
it in school.
you are so very
We both
well
know.
educated. Oh, you
Wow, that's
knew.
interesting.
My God. And did
Yeah,
your students tell you where katakana and hiragana came from?
no, but the katakana comes from
From Mars.
Mars. From yeah,
Yeah.
I think they explained. The katakana from the kanji, and hiragana was I forgot again. Oh my
From
gosh.
Jupiter.
No, but why was it a highlight? Not because I learned this, it's because I learned something from my students. Oh, my camera is falling down again.
Dun dun dun.
That's
Dun
okay.
dun dun. Yeah.
We all need a
It's
break.
we all need a break.
Yeah.
So it means you
But
already
actually,
no,
yeah,
it's
both of
fine,
them
but
coming from kanji originally.
come from kanji.
Hiragana and katakana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
from the phonetical description. At the
Yes.
beginning, they had a kanji because generally, especially the male people on the higher rank, they were interested in writing things just like the Chinese poets. So they were basically writing in the Chinese style. So they used just kanji. And then eventually they developed a system of hiragana and katakana. Maybe the katakana was the first. I'm not too sure yet. But eventually it became like more staple for female writers to use hiragana.
So, and how do you explain to your student? Maybe they ask, why do we have like hiragana and katakana? Do you sometimes get this question from your
I
students?
don't get this far, like historically, blah blah blah. Nobody wants to hear that. I just explain that generally speaking, the foreign words would be written with katakana,
And
but
nobody
not always.
questionnaires
And then they start
why?
hating me because why not always? Yeah.
Yeah, and what is your answer to this question? What do you say?
I just wait for them to get to a higher level to explain that.
So how do you
Just look forward to
what do
that.
you reply? You say, just wait, I cannot tell you. Your level is too low.
Yeah. Just
Yes.
making an advertisement like if you keep going, then you get to the information. No, but
Yeah.
just like I think on that basis for the beginners classes, I think all they need to know is generally like when they use katakana, when they use hiragana, it's not really straightforward. But as long as they know that most of the time the foreign words, loan words would be written with katakana, I think it's enough.
Even though it's redundant, right? Actually, you could write it in Romaji. If it's a foreign word, why do you write it in katakana?
But it's not really a Japanese tradition system, you know. It came later.
Hmm. Yeah, my point, why was it a highlight? Because I could learn a lot from my students. Um, of course, we
That's
always learn
nice.
also from our students, but it's more a kind of reflection. Ne? I learn from my students mostly if I did a good job or not a good job. Ne? But like that I really get input from my students is quite rare in my case. I think it's all the reason is also because if we teach like beginner classes, they cannot give so much input. But this was a kind of highlight to me. Yeah, they could teach me something, and it was like, oh, I didn't know. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone
Maybe they're
any
watching.
highlight from 2 weeks ago?
From
3 weeks
2 weeks
ago?
ago, no. But from this
You can
week,
go back in time.
yeah, but this week I had another reminder of a revelation I had a few years ago, because I would say my classes are rather fun. I'm not a strict teacher, so I would say the atmosphere is always good. People can express themselves. And sometimes students have a little bit too much leisure in my class, so they get a little loud sometimes, which I don't mind. As long as they have fun and they do what they're supposed to do, it's good enough for me, and they're learning something. But I also was reminded again, I had this probably 2 years ago, this revelation. I had one student who had severe ADHD, and he would stand up in class, walk around, and start to talk with everybody. I was like, this is not okay right now. And one day he kind of caught me on the wrong foot, and I yelled at him to, please, could you sit down now? We are doing a listening thing, and I've had it. And not just him, but everybody else was looking at me shocked, and I could feel if there was a atmosphere thermometer, it was dropping, and everybody was quiet for like 30 minutes. And I was reminded of that this week again, because they were really loud. And I was like, we tried to do something here. So could you just please sit down and shut up? And everybody got quiet, and it was quiet for a long time, which is very uncomfortable in my class. So I was reminded again, we have a lot of power as teachers, which I never seem to think, but we do. I can
Yeah.
crush the beautiful atmosphere within a few
Yeah.
seconds.
Maybe you are now
The
the
authority of the
Yes,
teacher.
maybe
kawaii
I am.
sensei.
Oh my God, she yelled at us. Yeah.
Yeah. Your reputation is completely
Yeah.
damaged now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You are the scary teacher, the
Yeah,
kawaii
I
sensei.
probably am. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's very interesting how fast the thing can change. Atmospheres can change in a
Mm,
class.
yeah. Do your students watch our podcast?
I told them to, so
I
hopefully
told them to.
yes. I
It's a
So
good.
you're trying to,
haven't I haven't
you
done
need
any
to try to show
homework.
them that you're not 100% always scary.
Yes,
I'm a nice person.
I would have to give them
Ah, she can be
homework.
nice. I didn't know that she can be nice.
Yes, I'm tough.
Um,
Wow,
I'm
wow.
usually in a lucky position where I don't have that many students at one time. But in this summer, I've been planning to do a calligraphy class in courses in Hungary. So I'm gathering some students. So in case anyone's interested and is in Hungary, Budapest, then please write a message to me. But like I've been planning for to do this. I don't know how big the class is going to be yet, but if it's gonna be huge, then I have to be louder and be more powerful as a teacher as you are. So let's see how much of an authority I can have.
Which
Yeah,
is fine. It's
yeah.
okay. Yeah, but in
Yeah.
Japan, you also have to consider that even though they're university students, they're rather young for their age. So 18 means like 15, I would say, in Germany. So in one class, I have a lot of boys, and they kind of do a little roughhousing and yelling at each other, and they have a good relationship, but it's like on the football field. So it's not so easy because I do believe that if you teach students calligraphy, they might be a little bit more settled.
Yeah.
But you are from
Actually,
Duisburg, and I think you are maybe the best teacher to handle it, right? If you
probably,
come
yeah.
from
Also, is
Duisburg.
my co-teacher. He's also from the Ruhrgebiet, so
So
good they have us. Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Ooh,
just to let you know, we have
exciting.
already 41 minutes full. Yeah,
Wow,
it felt
that's
like 15 minutes, I know, but
Yeah. So if you
yeah.
want to do calligraphy, go to Aki.
thank you
You
very
can
much.
learn to
Yes.
write really nicely some Japanese, I don't know,
Yeah.
words or maybe your name. Do you have any idea what you would
Yeah.
like to teach?
Name some countries. I think it depends on the level of the students. I have at least I'm going to teach with two language schools in Budapest. One of them just for the beginners, and the other one beginners and a bit of experienced people as well. So I think I would be flexible depending on the student. Some of the students who are starting, they can just practice using the what was it? I forgot, but the things that we need for it.
Just food pen?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And for the a little bit of advanced people, I would have a different types of practice materials. Yeah. So in
Very
case
Nice.
you're
nice.
interested.
Nice. Yeah, if I were there, I would go there for sure. I would book a ticket.
We have to
So,
book a flight to Hungary now.
everybody, not to miss this fantastic
Yeah.
class, write a comment and you will get all the information.
Yeah, we have some classes in June, July, and August, so we'll be
Nice.
quite flexible. Okay, then that's about it for today. Thanks everyone for watching, listening, and then thank you guys for the conversation, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye bye.